Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please take your seats. Our ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you.
Signore e signori, la cerimonia inizierà a breve, vi chiediamo di prendere posto.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please take your seats. Our ceremony will begin shortly.
Sua Maestà, stimate autorità, Presidente Ravaglia, Dottor Khalid El Metal, Dottor Faith Abionu, staff, studenti, siamo lieti di accogliervi con il più caloroso benvenuto nella magnifica Sala delle Colonne, qui a Venezia, per celebrare il 40° anniversario del Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico.
Your Majesty, esteemed authorities, President Ravaglia, Dr. Abiodun, Dr. El Metal, donors, friends of the UWC Adriatic, staff and students, we are delighted to extend to you our warmest welcome in the magnificent venue of the Sala delle Colonne here in Venice as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of UWC Adriatic. My name is Nilaya Mbemba. I am from Switzerland, Congo, and Croatia, and most honored to be your host for this opening ceremony.
Il mio nome è Eleonora Chiesa, vengo dall'Italia e sono onorata di essere una delle vostre presentatrici per questa cerimonia d'apertura.
In order to celebrate the deliberate diversity at this college, we are very proud to open this ceremony with a flag parade representing 82 countries, 84 nationalities, various languages, cultures, and histories. So please welcome with us Afghanistan, Albania,
Armenia, Australia.
Austria, Azerbaijan,
Belarus, Belgium.
Bolivia, Bosnia-Herzegovina,
Bulgaria, Canada.
Chile, China,
Costa Rica, Croatia.
Cyprus, Czech Republic,
Denmark, Egypt.
El Salvador, Eswatini,
Ethiopia, Finland.
France, Germany,
Ghana, Greece.
Guatemala, Hong Kong, SAR,
Hungary, India.
Iraq,
Ireland, Israel.
Italy, Japan,
Kosovo, Latvia.
Lebanon, Lithuania,
Malawi, Malaysia.
Malta, Mexico,
Moldova, Montenegro.
Naples, Netherlands,
Nigeria, North Macedonia.
Norway, Palestine,
Philippines, Poland.
Portugal, Romania,
Russia, Serbia.
Slovakia, Slovenia,
South Africa, South Sudan.
Spain, Sudan.
Sweden, Switzerland.
Syria, Taiwan.
Timor-Leste, Tunisia.
Turkey, USA.
Uganda, Ukraine.
United Kingdom, Venezuela.
Vietnam, Yemen.
Zambia, Friuli e Venezia Giulia.
UWC.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the countries of UWC Adriatic.
Being a human being, not to be complicit, not to accept everyone else is silent, it must be alright. Not to keep one's mouth shut, to hold onto one's job. Not to accept public language as cover and decoy. Not to put friends and family before the rest of the world. Not to say, I am wrong, when you know the government is wrong. Not to be just a bad behavior pattern, to accept the moment and fact of choice. I am a human being, and I exist. A human being and a citizen of the world, responsible to that world and responsible for that world.
Questa poesia di Tom Leonard è dedicata a Mordecai Vanunu, un attivista per la pace e tecnico nucleare israeliano, che venne incarcerato per 18 anni, 11 dei quali in isolamento, per aver denunciato il programma nucleare israeliano. È stata letta da Efren Resinos Games, da El Salvador. Ringrazio di cuore i portabandiera per aver rappresentato con questa sfilata la loro nazione.
As our flag bearers leave the stage, let us take a moment to reflect on the fragility of peace and our collective responsibility to work for it, to protect it however and whenever we can. Although we may be divided by borders, We are united in our common humanity, and it is our duty to never forget that. On that note, we are deeply honored to have with us today friends and supporters of the UWC Adriatic.
Ho il piacere ora di invitare sul palco il presidente della Biennale di Venezia, Roberto Cicutto.
Your Majesty, President Ambassador Cristina Ravaglia, Rector Khalid El Metal, dear students, benvenuti a tutti alla Biennale di Venezia. We thank you for choosing la Biennale di Venezia to celebrate the start of the 23rd and 24th academic year, which falls within the celebrations of the 40th anniversary of the foundation of the UWC Adriatic. It is a great pleasure to see so many young people preparing to face the coming decades at a crucial moment in world history. In recent years, we have experienced new and unexpected events: the pandemic, a war within European borders, whose and we cannot predict the end, the consequences of global warming, and uncontrolled development of new and powerful technologies. Venice and the Biennale, which is a vital element of this city, have faced all these crises like you, with the ability to react and experiment possible new solutions. La Biennale is not only, without reducing its importance, the producer of extraordinary art and architecture exhibitions, or cinema, dance, theater, and music festivals. Here, countries from all over the world meet, balance their values and their contradictions, creating de facto an arena of and for cultural diplomacy, unique in the world. But we are also a place open to all of you and to those who, like you, who study or simply love disciplines and arts that are increasingly becoming essential in our daily life. Never before have cultural institutions had to, and fortunately often been able to, take the responsibilities that go well beyond their institutional missions, as in recent years. Responsibilities that cannot ignore looking at the world as a whole in order to propose solutions to the urgent problems of millions of people. An architecture exhibition is underway which places emphasis not on the science of building, but on how to understand the duties of architecture, which is increasingly called upon to renew itself, where aesthetic values must be combined with responses of coexistence and respect for people and the planet. This is why we call Leslie Locke, originally from Ghana and with an European background, to curate it. Starting from the African continent, she called the world to attention on how to deal with crises that continent experienced before others, giving a voice to those who until now had not been able to be heard. And the next curator of Arte 24th, which will open next April, is the first to come from South America, from Brazil. It is important that the point of view changes, presenting us in a different way contemporary history, because, as Leslie Locke says, historical reconstruction is often not wrong, but incomplete. Let me add one last thing. We are proud to welcome hundreds of young artists of all disciplines who participate in the College of Art, Architecture, Cinema, Dance, Music, and Theater every year. Those young and emerging artists coming from all over the world, under the guidance of the artistic directors and tutors, reach international stages, screens and scenes, enriching the activities of the historical archive of the Biennale in its transformation into an international center for research on contemporary arts, whose doors are open to everyone, but especially to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Presidente. The following video contains a message by Chrystia Freeland, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance of Canada and alumna of Adriatic of Class 86. As there is a quite time difference between Canada and Italy, she will address us with Buonasera.
Buonasera. I'm Chrystia Freeland, an extremely grateful graduate of Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico. I am so sorry I can't be with all of you tonight. Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico was a truly formative experience for me. I am so grateful to all of my friends who were at Duino with me, and I am grateful to all of our amazing teachers. Benvenuti a tutti e tanti auguri al Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico per questo anniversario importante. Tonight is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate not only the past 40 years, but also the countless inspiring graduates and amazing teachers who have shaped UWC Adriatic into the remarkable global community it is today. To everyone at UWC Adriatic who has done so much for so many incredible young people from all over the world over the past 40 years. Oh my God, are we really so old? I want to say thank you all very, very much. Grazie mille. Today is also a moment for us to look towards the future. And as a really grateful member of the class of 1986, I want to wish this year's scholars the very best on their journeys. You are the leaders of tomorrow, and I look forward to cheering on all of your successes. Grazie di cuore. Auguro a tutti voi una meravigliosa celebrazione. I'm so sorry I can't be with you. I know you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you very much. I wish you all an amazing celebration.
Leggerò adesso una lettera del Presidente del Veneto, Luca Zaia. Gentile Presidente Ravaglia, come anticipato dalla mia segreteria, mi duole comunicare che, a causa di concomitanti impegni istituzionali, non potrò essere presente alla cerimonia d'apertura 2023-2024 del Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico, cui mi ha cortesemente invitato. Esprimo, con la presente lettera, la mia vicinanza a questo importante appuntamento, che oltre a sancire l'inizio di una nuova annata accademica, celebra anche il 40ennale del collegio. L'occasione mi è pertanto lieta per formulare il mio plauso alle attività profuse in questi 4 decenni, capaci di edificare ponti di dialogo, alimentando così la storica vocazione del triestino di cerniare tra stati e genti. L'istruzione, grazie alla professionalità e alla competenza dei professionisti e dei docenti, diventa una forza per unire i popoli, le nazioni e le culture, perseguendo la pace e un futuro sostenibile. Tematiche quanto mai attuali, soprattutto alla luce delle attuali coordinate storiche e geopolitiche. Rinnovando la mia vicinanza, voglio ricevere il mio cordiale saluto così da estenderlo a tutti i presenti e alle autorità partecipanti a questo solenne momento. Dottor Luca Zaia. Innanzitutto, siamo estremamente fiere di rappresentare il collegio durante questo evento così significativo per la nostra comunità.
40 years ago, when our college was established, I wasn't born yet, which has compelled me to reflect upon the past journey that has paved my way to the very present moment. As you may or may not know, the establishment of this particular college was not just a result of random endeavor, but a direct response to the aftermath of the First World War and the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In response to the post-war conflicts among the people of our region, the college made a conscious choice to use education as a means to promote peace and build a future that would nurture generations to come. So even in 1982, when I didn't exist, this college was built for people like me in mind. This very choice, made 40 years ago, has been nurtured and built upon by every member of our community whose shoulders we stand on today. And it is only for their continuous care and willingness to defend our values that we are able to stand here in front of you today.
Quando penso al collegio, non posso fare a meno di riflettere sul suo passato e su come veniva vissuto dagli studenti dagli anni della fondazione a oggi. Questo perché ho avuto contatti con il mondo UWC sin da bambina, grazie a degli ex studenti. Naturalmente, ciò ha fatto sì che le mie aspettative sui collegi fossero state notevolmente influenzate dai racconti che avevo sentito prima ancora di vivere a Duino. Pensando ora a come doveva essere il collegio, posso finalmente associare dei volti a persone coinvolte nell'effettiva creazione di questa comunità. Non posso non pensare a persone arrivate qua ai principi del collegio, che poi non sono più andate via, come Mark Sylvester, responsabile del Dipartimento Scientifico e insegnante di fisica, o come Luciana Bertolino e Demetrio Calligaris, membri dell'amministrazione. Tutti elementi indispensabili alla comunità che hanno visto passare sotto i loro occhi innumerevoli generazioni di studenti. C'è invece chi ha scoperto il collegio da studente, se n'è innamorato e dopo il diploma e i diversi studi è tornato a far parte del movimento, in loco come insegnante o partecipando all'organizzazione e amministrazione delle scuole. Esempi calzanti di studentesse poi ritornate sono Viviana Pace e Cristina Leban. Docenti di italiano che hanno studiato al Collegio dell'Adriatico per poi essere tornate ad insegnare. È precisamente dopo essere arrivata al collegio che ho compreso quanto tutti i legami tra passato e presente non rappresentino solo il desiderio di ricordare e celebrare il passato, creando un senso di confortevole nostalgia, bensì con il tempo ho capito che c'è dell'altro. La comunità del collegio è a conoscenza dell'importanza di guardare al futuro tramite la nostra evoluzione passata, ma riconosce la necessità fondamentale di radici solide, fondamenta decennali che delineano la nostra storia e di conseguenza anche il nostro futuro. Sono sempre più convinta che quelle radici, lentamente nate a Duino nel 1982, siano cresciute anno dopo anno, studente dopo studente, permettendo di ottenere oggi, come una rete quasi invisibile, ma capace di collegare modesti villaggi così come lontani continenti. Quelle radici sono i primissimi alunni del collegio del 1982. Sono i miei professori, i compagni del mio anno che si diplomeranno con me. Sono i miei secondi anno che ho salutato l'anno passato e sono i miei primi anno che imparerò a conoscere l'anno corrente. È il personale dello staff e del CAS, la mia commissione nazionale e chiunque sia qua oggi perché crede nella missione del movimento UWC.
As a current second year at Adriatic College, I can only vaguely remember the girl I was when I first arrived in Duino. She was full of excitement, fueled by curiosity, and very much unprepared for the challenges that laid ahead. She was unaware of the slight change of accent her English would pick up from her roommate's South African tongue. She was unaware of the tendency she would give in of saying va bene after every sentence, regardless of the actual circumstance of the situation. She was unaware of how the latest news of conflicts in countries far away from her own would affect those living right next to her dorm. What makes her so different from who I am now is far more than the knowledge I have gained during my stay. It's the personal transformation we undergo when we come together to celebrate our differences, ultimately finding a sense of familiarity and connection in our diversity. Today, as we appreciate the fruits of a tree that was planted 4 decades ago, I am reminded that individuals, both from the past and the present, have planted, nurtured, and taken care of this community in order for it to grow into what it is today. And I believe that it is our time to plant our own trees. Thank you.
Ogni nuovo anno, chi parte per lasciare il collegio, insieme a fotografie, mappe personalizzate, macchinette del caffè e qualsiasi sorta di oggetto vi possa venire in mente, lascia indietro tradizioni spesso decennali, ma regala anche l'opportunità di cambiarle e di inventarne di nuove. A Duino sembra come se tutto sia intriso di energia potenziale, pronta a essere liberata dalla più semplice e frivola delle idee. Costumi, canzoni, luoghi, colori, profumi, idee vengono tramandati non solo per mantenere viva la memoria di ciò che è stato, ma anche per creare l'ispirazione che permette al passato di diventare presente con l'augurio di poter poi fiorire nel futuro. Personalmente, credo che la chiave della sostenibilità della nostra comunità sia proprio questa: il desiderio di poter plasmare il nostro presente tramite ciò che abbiamo ricevuto dal passato, la capacità di ascoltare, imparare e adattarsi ai cambiamenti che avvengono nel luogo in cui viviamo, tra le persone con cui stiamo e dentro di noi. La volontà di ricordare chi e cosa è stato importante e di affiancarsi l'uno all'altro, dentro e fuori dal collegio, prima e dopo il diploma. Perché più rafforziamo le nostre radici, più queste cresceranno, trasformandosi in legami che possano aggiungersi a tutta una rete sempre più fitta di connessioni, che oltre a connettere le persone, traccia la linea che definisce il movimento UWC.
I believe that UWC is the result of a continuous choice, one that has been reaffirmed over and over again, not only for the sake of our own fulfillment, but in order to benefit those around us and those to come. It is waking up to a community that welcomes you into its arms, not because you share the same customs, but because you choose to celebrate and uphold their diversity anyway. It's singing a song in a language different from your own, not because you understand the words, but because you choose to hear the message it carries. I believe it's finding your home among people who chose to leave theirs to become yours. And I wonder what it is that we will choose for this institution to be and to remain in the future.
Grazie. Il nostro collegio si affida ampiamente al supporto di numerosi individui che mettono il loro tempo e la loro professionalità a servizio della nostra educazione. la presidente del nostro collegio, l'ambasciatore Cristina Ravaglia, dedica costantemente il suo tempo, la sua energia e la sua esperienza nell'assicurarci di permetterci di usufruire di un'educazione trasformativa. L'ambasciatore Cristina Ravaglia è entrata in carriera diplomatica nel 1978, ha lasciato a marzo 2017 il Ministero degli Affari Esteri e della Cooperazione Internazionale da direttore generale per gli italiani all'estero e le politiche migratorie, carica che aveva ricoperto sin dal giugno 2012. Parla correttamente inglese, spagnolo, francese, con una buona conoscenza del tedesco, del polacco ed elementi di russo. Cristina Ravaglia ha superato nel 1978, oltre che il concorso di accesso alla carriera diplomatica, anche l'esame di procuratore legale. Come diplomatica ha prestato servizio all'estero presso le ambasciate a Varsavia e a Madrid e presso i consolati generali a Buenos Aires e a Monaco di Baviera. Nel corso della sua carriera si è occupata svariate volte di collettività italiane all'estero, di promozione e cooperazione culturale, di politiche migratorie, di rapporti bilaterali con l'Asia e con l'America Latina e infine di cooperazione euro-mediterranea, in particolare nei 3 anni di servizio prestato a Madrid nell'ambito del programma italo-spagnolo di scambio di diplomatici. È quindi con piacere che accolgo l'ambasciatrice Cristina Ravaglia, presidente del nostro collegio, sul palco.
Maestà, autorità, donatori, ex studenti ed amici del Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico e cari studenti, voi che siete la ragione del nostro essere, benvenuti a questa occasione così speciale come l'apertura dell'anno accademico 2023-2024 e grazie per essere qui con noi così numerosi oggi. La cerimonia si svolge in un luogo bellissimo, lo vediamo tutti, prezioso ed eccezionale, Ca Giustinian, la sede della Biennale di Venezia, la cui dirigenza, qui con noi oggi, il Presidente Cicuto, il Direttore Generale del Mercato, ringrazio di cuore per la generosa ospitalità offertaci. Oggi chiudiamo anche nella maniera più solenne le celebrazioni dei 40 anni di attività del Collegio, aperte giusto un anno fa all'Ara Pacis Mundi di Medea, voi c'eravate, luogo anch'esso bellissimo e fortemente consonante con l'asse portante dei principi dell'educazione UWC. Duplice è l'obiettivo di questa giornata. Da un lato ricordare e ringraziare e dall'altro sviluppare ulteriormente le attività del Collegio con il lancio di un fondo del Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico destinato ad alimentare per molti anni a venire le borse di studio, cominciando proprio da coloro che tra gli studenti sono in situazione di maggiore svantaggio, giovani rifugiati, oppure in fuga da paesi in guerra o che comunque non offrono loro neppure le più minime opportunità. Sappiamo bene che il Collegio del Mondo Unito dell'Adriatico, come del resto lo sono gli altri 17 collegi UWC, è una scuola molto speciale. Speciale perché consente ai giovani delle provenienze più diverse di vivere insieme per 2 anni, imparando a dialogare e ad accettarsi al di là delle differenze e facendo sì che davvero la pace cominci con loro. E ce n'è un gran bisogno. Speciale perché abitua gli studenti ad assumersi le proprie responsabilità individuali e collettive e perché attraverso il servizio sociale, che è parte integrante del curriculum scolastico, rende concreta la possibilità di cambiare in meglio il mondo e la società, cominciando da chi è più vicino e consentendo ai ragazzi di toccare con mano il cambiamento, di vedere i progressi. Speciale infine perché il coinvolgimento attivo che caratterizza l'educazione UWC porterà i nostri giovani studenti a diventare adulti e cittadini consapevoli e impegnati. La didattica è caratterizzata da un approccio multidisciplinare ed è molto impegnativa e lo possono testimoniare i nostri studenti e i nostri ex studenti, giusto? Mi sa che dovete studiare tanto, lo so, ma è l'apertura verso persone diverse da sé e verso il mondo in una comunità accogliente ed inclusiva a rendere questo tipo di istruzione davvero peculiare, offrendo di più a chi ha di meno e dando una opportunità a chi, per condizioni di partenza, non ne ha. Si tratta di un obiettivo che è nel DNA del nostro collegio, di tutti i collegi UWC. E sarà per caso, ma nella vita poche cose avvengono per caso, mi piace pensare che queste celebrazioni del quarantennale di Adriatic avvengono in contemporanea con quelle per il centenario della nascita di Don Lorenzo Milani, che era un sacerdote fiorentino con una fortissima spinta religiosa e una altrettanto fortissima spinta civile, vocazione civile, che lottò tutta la vita per formare, qualunque fosse la loro condizione di partenza, cittadini e cittadine istruiti e sovrani, la cui vita fosse improntata all'impegno, al farsi carico, a quello che insomma è, pensandoci bene, il cuore della buona politica che affronta i problemi e crea persone consapevoli non lasciando indietro nessuno. È più onesto dire che tutti i ragazzi nascono uguali e se in seguito non lo sono più, la colpa è nostra e dobbiamo rimediare, per dirla con le parole di Lorenzo Milani. Anche per questo è doveroso ringraziare e ricordare chi ha creato il collegio e guardare avanti per crescere, lasciando indietro meno giovani possibile per rimediare, insomma, come avrebbe detto Don Lorenzo. In primo luogo, ricordare e ringraziare quei visionari concreti, come mi piace chiamarli, che 40 anni fa, con spirito lungimirante e costruttivo, immaginarono, vollero e realizzarono, difficilissimo, un compito difficilissimo, il collegio a Duino. Dunque i Belci, i Comelli, i Faccobonetti, i Sutcliffe, tutti qui in qualche modo con noi oggi, o di persona, o perché rappresentati da loro familiari, o perché comunque presenti con lo spirito. Un grande grazie allora ad Elizabeth e Michael Sutcliffe, qui insieme a noi di persona. E per quanto fatto dai loro padri, ai figli di Corrado Belci e di Antonio Comelli, che purtroppo, come del resto Gianfranco Faccobonetti per un problema di aereo cancellato all'ultimo momento, oggi non hanno potuto raggiungerci a Venezia, ma sono ugualmente qui con noi in spirito e in affetto. Il nostro grazie si allarga naturalmente a tutti coloro che hanno concepito e consolidato il movimento UWC. Penso naturalmente, ma non solo, a Kurt Hahn, a Lord Mountbatten, a Tony Bess e a coloro che crearono già nel 1970 la Commissione Nazionale Italiana UWC, Marella Agnelli, Cesidio Guazzaroni, Bartolomeo Migone, e a chi ha permesso ed accompagnato la nascita e gli inizi non facili del collegio, Salvatore Valitutti e Giorgio Pontoni in primis. In secondo luogo, dicevo, è doveroso guardare avanti per crescere e lasciare indietro meno giovani possibile. È un compito improbo, perché a prima vista potrebbe sembrare come prendere un bicchiere d'acqua dal mare per cominciare a svuotarlo. Ma intanto si comincia, bisogna cominciare e intanto si fa. E per mantenere il riferimento all'acqua in questa meravigliosa città sull'acqua, l'effetto cascata saprà ampliarne l'effetto e moltiplicarlo. È proprio quello che vogliamo fare e che abbiamo cominciato a fare grazie alla generosità di alcuni nostri ex alunni per dare l'avvio al fondo di Adriatic, i cui rendimenti, speriamo, ci consentano presto di poter finanziare tante borse di studio, la prima delle quali sarà destinata a un oppure una giovane proveniente da un campo profughi oppure arrivato o arrivata in Italia in fuga dal proprio paese. Questi 40 anni di vita del collegio, che ha sinora formato quasi 4.000 giovani di tutto il mondo e che continua nel suo lavoro, quest'anno abbiamo 177 ragazzi di 82 nazionalità diverse e l'affezione, l'amore direi, che i nostri ex studenti hanno per il loro collegio dimostrano sempre all'insegna del io mi impegno, io mi faccio carico, I care, mi prendo la responsabilità di cui parlavo prima, che ci si può, anzi che ci si deve impegnare, ci si deve provare. Insieme a loro e solidamente vicini al collegio sono i nostri donatori, quelli pubblici, storici e da sempre al nostro fianco, il Ministero degli Affari Esteri e della Cooperazione Internazionale e la Regione Autonoma Friuli Venezia Giulia, fondamentali per la nostra esistenza, e gli altri tanti donatori, pubblici e privati, da tempo insieme a noi o appena arrivati, grandi e piccoli, ma tutti vitali per la nostra esistenza. Li ringrazio qui tutti con grande calore a nome dell'intera comunità del collegio e mio personale, e anche e soprattutto grazie alla generosità di alcuni di loro che abbiamo potuto organizzare questa giornata così eccezionale fuori dal nostro territorio, che ci ospita con tanto affetto fuori dalla regione Friuli Venezia Giulia, per celebrare un anniversario di piena maturità e di grandi prospettive. Grazie mille.
Thank you, Ambassador Ravaglia, for your inspiring speech. Now, I am very happy to introduce to you some of our talented musicians. Haya from Lebanon, Schweib from Palestine, and Dion from the Netherlands will be performing a song by the famous Egyptian singer Dalida. The piece you are about to hear is called Helwa Ya Baladi, which translates to My Sweet Homeland. It carries great political importance, and it is frequently performed during gatherings, demonstrations, and festive occasions. So please welcome Haya, Schweib, and Dion.
Good luck.
حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين حلوة يا بلدي أملي دايما كان يا بلدي إني أرجع لك يا بلدي وأفضل دايما جنبك على طول ذكريات كل اللي فات فاكرة يا بلدي قلبي مليان بحكايات فاكرة يا بلدي أول حبي كان في بلدي مش ممكن أنساه يا بلدي فين أيام زمان قبل الوداع كنا منقول إن الفراق ده مستحيل وكل دمعة على الخدين كانت بتسيل مليانة بأمل إن احنا نبقى موجودين في بحر الحب على الشطين كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين قمر يا بلدي فين حبيب القلب يا بلدي كان بعيد عني يا بلدي وكل ما بغني بفكر فيه قول يا حبيبي انت سايبني ورايح فين اجمل لحن ده حنغنيه احنا الاتنين يا محلى كلمة بلدي في غنوة بين سطرين يا ليل يا عين يا عين يا ليل يا ليل يا ليل ليل كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين قمر يا بلدي أملي دايما كان يا بلدي إني أرجع لك يا بلدي وأفضل دايما جنبك على طول حلوة يا بلدي قمر يا بلدي
Grazie a questi incredibili musicisti per aver condiviso parte della loro storia e della loro casa con noi, ricordandoci l'importanza di battersi per la pace.
Fortunately, UWC Adriatic is not alone in its pursuit of peace and a sustainable future. All 18 United World Colleges are part of a global network that is supported by the International Office Team, whose mission it is to ensure the sustainability of this movement, enabling future generations to benefit from a UWC education. Our keynote speaker today, Dr. Faith Abiodun, the Executive Director of UWC International, is a renowned education social enterprise leader, international affairs analyst, writer and speaker. With almost a decade of experience at the African Leadership Academy, he has made significant contributions to developing public sector leaders in Africa. Global news organizations like the BBC and the South African Broadcasting Corporation actively seek out Dr. Abiodun's valuable insights. He is an alumnus of the Executive Education Program at the World Innovation Summit for Education. Dr. Abiodun also holds positions on the boards of News Decoder, a global educational news organization, the United World College of the Adriatic, aka us, and Future Africa, an organization dedicated to public sector leadership. With great honor, I invite Dr. Faith Abiodun, the Executive Director of UWC International, to join us on stage.
Thank you very much. Buongiorno a tutti. Buongiorno. You don't like my Italian? Okay, I promise I'll add a few more words to my vocabulary each time I come. But for now, I'll do this in English. Your Majesty, Queen Noor of Jordan, President of the United World Colleges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends, alumni of this great college, and most importantly, the students of UWC Adriatic. For me, it's a great honor to be here to join you today in celebrating the legacy of the last 40 years and to formally welcome the next generation of changemakers who have specially been selected to join this powerful movement and to commence the journey of the next 40 years and beyond. I'd like to start by acknowledging the bold leadership of this college led by Ambassador Christina Ravaglia and our Rettore, Dr. Khalid El-Metal. Working with both of you, the passion that you demonstrate for this college, for our mission, and the future of the young people who have joined UWC Adriatic is really, really tangible. So thank you for all that you do. I'd also like to express sincere gratitude to the region, Friuli Venezia Giulia, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation for what is your unwavering support to this college. I have had a chance to see that in practice, and it's really delightful that we get to work in partnership. For everyone, I bring you greetings from the global family of the United World Colleges and the International Board. We celebrate with you, and we are fully committed to working together, hand in hand, as we shape the future. There's a statement in David Sutcliffe's book about the founding figures of the UWC movement, in which he references Corrado Belchi, who was the founding president of this college. The statement is one which I have found most poignant as I reflect on the journey of the UWC movement for more than 60 years, as well as the journey of UWC Adriatic in particular. Belchi said that peace is not a comfortable process. He said it's a continuous process of giving without receiving in return. Above all, without knowing whether and when the process will ever achieve completion. I ask myself, what was it that propelled a generation of people who had lived through war to determine that they would do everything within their power to shape a better world by educating the next generation in a manner that is so different to what they had experienced? I ask myself, what was the driving force behind the commitment to reach out to partners in diverse parts of the world to help to identify young people who are full of promise, and to work in close collaboration with governments, with individuals, to ensure that financial concerns would never stand in the way of bringing these young people together for such a powerful cause? What was the motive behind the decision to establish this college in such a uniquely important location at the intersection of cultural and linguistic, nationalistic and religious differences? I mean, both as a symbol of what is possible and also an example of what must be done. The more I reflect on the legacies of Corrado Belchi and David Sutcliffe and Tony Bess, Ambassador Gianfranco Facco-Bonetti, and all the other courageous leaders who stepped forward at a time of uncertainty in Europe to establish a college that will play such an important role in reshaping this continent and shaping the future of the world. The more I think about them, the more admiration and gratitude I feel towards each of them. It's very humbling to think about the moral clarity of the leaders of that generation. Not just that, the imperative to take action. The vast majority of them have run their race, and they have passed the baton to this generation. They're asking us to build on their legacy and to continue to strive for a world that is devoid of conflict and characterized by peaceful coexistence in constructive dialogue. What gives me the greatest joy is knowing that each generation after them has responded to that call. We have found the courage to keep forging ahead. The great alumni of this college have launched out in different directions. They've taken their mandate from this place, and they've gone out into the world to help to make it a better place. And that is the enduring power of a compelling mission, and it's the demonstration of the UWC values in action. Last week, I had the privilege of visiting UWC Mosta. It's a school that would probably never have come into existence without the exceptional vision and the tireless work of an alumna of this college, Dr. Pilvi Tosti, with the support of many other visionaries. And it's a school that would probably never have survived without the great generosity and expertise of another alumnus of this college, Adrian Vanotulu, as well as many others who have invested so much in making that project a reality. Your Majesty, the alumni are living the mission. We're very proud of what they do. What I took away from my visit to Mosta, and what I feel each time I step on any UWC campus, is that peace is possible. As long as we never give up trying, it's possible. I believe that we are not doomed to always be on opposing ends of each other. It's not our destiny. As Nelson Mandela taught us, if people can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Because love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. And that is the unique power of education, especially a mission-conscious education. I believe education remains the most potent vehicle through which a society can transform itself. Education lifts a mirror to society. It forces us to acknowledge the errors of the past and to decide that the future must certainly be different. Education offers us a chance to undo the legacies that have not served us well so that we can experience regeneration by paving a better path for those who will come after us. I'm fully convinced that there is no greater education than a UWC education. There is no force more powerful than the desire to bring people together from all the ends of the earth, from opposing ends of conflict, in spite of the many things that seek to pull us apart. UWC makes education a force to unite people, and nations, and cultures for peace and for a sustainable future. And for 40 years, UWC Adriatic has proven that peace is possible. And that, for me, is a legacy that is worth protecting. It's heritage that's worth fighting for. The founders of our movement clearly understood the importance of peace in a world that is so often prone to conflict. They understood the importance of international and intercultural understanding in a world where we are so deeply suspicious of each other. They understood the power of celebrating difference as an antidote to isolating those who do not look like us. They understood the significance of compassion and service as a way to train our hearts to always seek the best in each other and to desire the best for each other. I think these values and all the rest of them really underpin the work that we do. They serve as a daily reminder of the unique place that we hold in the world of education. And it's a symbol for all of our communities at large. Because truly, if not us, then who? If not now, then when? And if not through UWC, how will the world ever come together and experience peaceful coexistence in the face of everything that threatens the foundations on which we stand? And what is abundantly clear to me is that each generation inherits the world as they find it, but each of us will shape the world that we leave behind. We're not responsible for what we walked into, but we are responsible for what we leave. And on this important occasion, I'd like to invite you to think very deeply about what your unique contribution will be for the generations that come after you. Because 61 years down the line for UWC, our work is not done. This college and all of its supporters have made a commitment to continually extend opportunities to those who would most likely make a tangible difference in the world. Regardless of the circumstances of the birth or the conditions of the nations, through the work that we do, we are reversing generations of injustice. We're shaping the future, one scholarship at a time. The power of the UWC movement has always been in our capacity, not just to bring people together, but to demonstrate leadership in society. We do that by committing the best of what we have to the service of all who are around us and those who are beyond us. I believe that the antidote to insularity is service. The more we give to others, the greater our influence and the better our world will be. We rise together. We develop together. We change the world together. And for the students, as we equip you to take responsibility for the development of your immediate community, we're also investing in the transformation of the world beyond us. Because I know that each of you will take the skills, the attitudes, the commitment you learn in this place, you take that with you as you transition into other spaces of influence. And so at this important time, I'd like to salute everyone who has committed themselves to this noble task of shaping the next generation. I want to salute the teaching faculty, the administrative staff, members of the board, passionate donors, government partners, service partners, host parents, alumni of every generation. I see you. I honor you, and I thank you for all that you do. I thank you for believing in the potential of these generation of young leaders to make a difference in the world. We know that these idealistic, ambitious students of today will very quickly become the influential alumni of tomorrow. And for a second, if I may speak directly to the students, I'd like to invite each of you to commit wholeheartedly to this journey. Every single one of you. Find your cause and pursue it. Never apologize for being so enthusiastic about what you believe in. Over the course of this journey, don't fall for the false dichotomy of choosing between academic excellence and the UWC experience. They're not mutually exclusive. It takes discipline to make a difference in the world. And I believe that you can forge that discipline by committing wholeheartedly to everything that you do. Let that same spirit of excellence flow through you in everything that you do. Be excellent. And if you ever need to rest, be assured that we have your back at all times. So from all of us at UWC International, many congratulations on 40 years. Continue to make a difference. Continue to shine a light in the world and continue to help to make the world a better place. Have a fantastic year ahead. Grazie mille.
Grazie mille, dottor Abiodun, per le sue parole e per averci ricordato l'importanza della speranza e della tenacia. Al collegio si lavora e si studia duramente, lo sappiamo tutti, ma si cerca di trovare anche il tempo per divertirsi. Come avrete notato, la musica è parte fondamentale della vita al collegio e di conseguenza anche del nostro divertimento. Credo quindi di poter chiamare sul palco le persone più adatte a presentarci il giusto connubio tra musica e divertimento. Iva, Shaib, Dion, Ludovico, Nathan e Raffaele suonano per noi il famoso pezzo jazz On the Sunny Side of the Street.
One, two, three. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that bitter pat? And that lucky tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. But I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold beside my feet on the sunny side of the street. Shade with those blues on parade. But I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold beside my feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny, sunny side of the street.
The song we have just heard has been covered many times by many great jazz musicians, but I have to say, this might be the best one so far. Our Rettore, Dr. Khalid El-Metal, and his wife, Ev Shabor, joined us at the beginning of the 2022 academic year, and very quickly they became part of the UWC Adriatic family. Khalid has been a teacher for the past 30 years and has held middle and senior leadership positions in Europe, the Middle East, and North America. We, however, think that he is happiest and at his best with his students in the classroom, where he teaches English and theory of knowledge.
Khalid ha conseguito la laurea in economia presso l'Università di Nantes, in Francia, e l'abilitazione all'insegnamento nel Regno Unito, presso l'Università di York. Inoltre, ha conseguito un master e un dottorato in scienze dell'educazione, dedicandosi in particolar modo allo sviluppo delle competenze professionali degli insegnanti. Come educatore del collegio, Khalid sente di avere il grande privilegio di far parte di un movimento che sostiene lo sviluppo fisico, intellettuale ed emotivo dei giovani nel loro percorso formativo, in collaborazione sia con le loro comunità locali, sia con quelle nazionali ed internazionali. Egli è inoltre del parere che l'esperienza del collegio costituisca un'opportunità in grado di cambiare profondamente la vita degli studenti che lo frequentano e ha potuto osservare direttamente come questa trasformazione avvenga sin dai primissimi momenti dell'anno accademico.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to invite to the stage our Rettore, Dr. Khalid El-Metal.
Good afternoon. Your Majesty, esteemed and honored guests, friends of UWC Adriatic, colleagues, and of course, the most important group today, students. I am delighted that we can come together as an extended community in this historic and magnificent venue to mark the start of the academic year 2023-2024. For those in the audience that were present at the closing ceremony of last academic year, I would like to reassure you that ChatGPT had no hand in writing this speech. Educating for peace has been the main driver of Adriatic's educational model for the past 41 years. When the college was first established, the Cold War and the ideological tensions that existed between the Soviet bloc countries and the USA and its allies represented the single biggest threat to peace. In fact, there were numerous occasions when the world found itself on the brink of nuclear war. One such example dates back to almost 40 years ago, on the 26th of September 1983, when the USSR's nuclear early warning system reported a launch of multiple US intercontinental ballistic missiles. Fortunately, an officer in the Soviet Air Defense Forces correctly identified them as false alarms, and thus prevented a retaliatory nuclear attack based on erroneous data. The actions of one individual can make a difference. Well, the Iron Curtain came down seven years after the founding of Adriatic, and we have seen tremendous change to those subsequent years. Yet, what has not changed is that the threat to peace is still very real and ever present. According to the American intellectual and activist Noam Chomsky, today's world has never been closer to total annihilation than at any other time in the history of civilization. My intention in highlighting this fact is not to be alarmist or sensationalist, but simply to point out that our primary mission, which is educating for peace, must remain our central prerogative. Human beings have been and continue to be, at least for the moment, the most intelligent species on the planet. In fact, education systems have traditionally focused on the development of human intelligence as a means to ensure human flourishing. And there are numerous examples to support this statement. A book by Hans Rosling, a Swedish medical doctor and professor of international health, stated that if we base our understanding on data sourced from credible sources such as the United Nations and the World Bank, there may actually be a case for seeing the glass as being half full rather than half empty. However, more often than not, our tendency is to focus on what is wrong with the world. Now, I do not believe for 1 second that the message of the book is to give ourselves a pat on the back for a job well done, or to ignore or deny the challenges that face humanity and the rest of the planet as a result of human activity, but to simply make the reader aware that if we look and understand the data, we should continue to be both hopeful and idealistic. Positive change is well within our means. As an educator, I know that people's knowledge, skills, and attitudes matter. This is not simply so that we can adapt to an ever-changing world, but rather so that we are able to forge a new world that resembles the one we wish for in our lifetime. But above all, my core belief is that in terms of education, what matters even more today are the values that guide our thinking and our actions. The fact of the matter is that the challenge to peace does not lie in a lack of intelligence, but rather a lack of wisdom, where the former is growing at an exponential rate and continues to have currency, and the latter has been relegated to the status of some quaint notion that used to have value in the olden days. By wisdom, I mean the ability to discern when, how, and to what ends our intelligence is used. Only by educating people to be enlightened and ethical agents on the local, national, and international stages can we begin to redress the dangerous imbalance that currently exists between intelligence and wisdom. One area where wisdom is most certainly required is AI. According to Mustafa Suleyman, co-founder of DeepMind and someone working on the cutting edge of artificial intelligence, in about 5 years' time, AI will most likely have human-level capability. By 2028, artificial capable intelligence will be able to make decisions independently, create new ideas, and enact those ideas. In addition, machines will be endowed with the capacity for recursive self-improvement, and perhaps even a degree of autonomy. It is undeniable that such progress would yield life-changing benefits, for example, transformative improvements in human health, the speeding up of innovation and scientific research, even addressing complex challenges such as those brought about by climate change. Yet, how do we mitigate for the risks that these developments potentially pose? How do we resist the temptation to pluck low-hanging fruit that may bear significant comparative advantage in the short term, choosing instead a slower but perhaps more prudent path? How do we ensure that the potential wealth generated through the use of advanced AI is redistributed in ways that will allow human beings to reduce the inequities that exist across the planet rather than exacerbate them? The way we choose to answer each of these questions will have a direct impact on achieving peace. Many of the potential risks to peace in today's world, be it AI, climate change, energy, water shortages, migrations, require a collective global response. Yet arguably, the world today, in many ways, perhaps is more fragmented than the world of 1982. For example, the concept of the nation-state is being questioned, and there does not seem to be an obvious alternative. The trust required for the conversation, that is the soul of democracy, is being eroded. And of course, the polarization that seems to prevail within political systems is not helping regain that trust. This calls for a greater appreciation and understanding of complexity as a means of avoiding being maneuvered into the old age trap of reductive binary thinking. The education model on which UWC Adriatic was established 41 years ago has proven itself to be successful in many ways. The 3,700 alumni of the college are a testimony to that success. At the same time, David Sutcliffe, the founding Rettore of Adriatic, in a speech he made in Duino in 2010, reminded everyone that a UWC education needs to adapt to meet the needs of the times, and that, above all, it should be a workshop for intensive educational innovation. These words must be in the forefront of our minds as we look to the future of the college. The challenge now is how to ensure that the educational experience at Adriatic adapts to meet the needs of today, and as a result, continues to be relevant. What will that actually look like? Well, my honest answer is, non ancora lo so. That may sound to some as a rather inadequate response coming from the Rettore of UWC Adriatic. But I take solace from Lawrence Peter, a Canadian educator, psychologist, and writer, who said that some problems are so complex that you have to be highly intelligent and well-informed just to be undecided about them. And believe me, the challenge of adapting this education model to today's world without losing its essence is indeed a complex one. Most importantly, we have to understand that it is a collective task that needs the engagement of our whole community. Yet, as challenging as that task may be, I am confident that we will get there. This is because we have significant strengths that we can leverage. At the college, we have more disciplines that are being offered today than at any other point in the college's history, with each one acting as a singular lens through which to make sense of the world. Our task will be to find ways to support learners to view the world through a more complex, multidisciplinary lens through which to make sense of it. Our task will be to ensure that looking at, for example, social sustainability, we look at it from the standpoint of history, psychology, world arts and culture, global politics, philosophy, and economics. Our community today is rich in perspectives, in thinking, and in cultural knowledge. Our task will be to ensure that our college culture preserves and manages that diversity throughout the two-year experience so that we can learn to respect difference and avoid the temptation to judge or belittle otherness. We have at our doorstep Italian institutions that are at the cutting edge of science and technology. Our task will be to develop partnerships that will allow our students access to the exciting and highly dynamic world of research, as well as considering the ethics needed to govern it. As I said, UWC Adriatic boasts approximately 3,700 alumni. Across the globe, with expertise in a wide array of fields and professions. Our task will be to explore how this amazing group of people can act as Adriatic's very own human library. Adriatic is the only college situated on the Mediterranean basin, a region that represents the meeting of three continents and a focus towards which Italian foreign policy has been gravitating. The migration crisis that has been felt in Italy has seen people take extraordinary risks to escape wars, persecution, not to mention natural disasters resulting from changes to the climate, cross the Mediterranean in search of safety and a better life. Our educational mission compels us to engage as far as we can with the issues that affect this region, of which we are part, and that has been the crossroads of peoples, religions, cultures, trades, and ideas for millennia. Finally, we are not alone in trying to adapt our educational model to the changing times. Our sister schools and colleges within the UWC movement are working towards the same goal, which means there is a lot to be learned from their experiences and expertise. All of this fills me with hope and excitement as I look ahead to 2023-2024. But most of all, I feel confident and comforted that UWC Adriatic has the support of all of you. And on behalf of the students, faculty, and non-teaching staff, I extend to you my sincere appreciation and gratitude. On that note, and without any further ado, it is with great pride that I declare the 41st academic year of UWC Adriatic officially open.
Thank you, Khalid, for your meaningful insights and for being oratore. Get ready to be enchanted by the mesmerizing sounds of a Croatian klapa performance. Klapa is a form of traditional a cappella singing from the beautiful country of Croatia, and it carries a heartwarming meaning which translates to a group of friends. And what better way to introduce our finer performance tonight? Although we might not always be close friends with everyone, our shared passion for music will always unite us in a unique way. Led by that incredibly talented Eva from Croatia, please welcome again the Adriatic Choir.
Skoro svaki put kad se mi pogledamo, ti ne ozdraviš ko da se ne poznamo. Svaki put kad se mi pogledamo, ti ne ozdraviš ko da se ne poznamo. Poznaj
gonna go. Okay.
Un sentito ringraziamento quasi commosso a Iva e al coro dell'Adriatico. Your Majesty, esteemed authorities, President Ravaglia, Dr. Khalid El-Metal, Dr. Faith Abiodun, alumni, alumnae, donors, friends of the UWC Adriatic, staff and students, it gives me a great pleasure, as our rector said, to announce that our 2023-2024 academic year is now officially open. I think a quotation from Nelson Mandela, who was the honorary president alongside Her Majesty, Queen Noor of Jordan, of the UWC movement, is apt at this point. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Thank you.
We ask you to please remain seated as our honored guests leave the room, and then please proceed to Piazza San Marco to meet your supervisors for the afternoon as arranged.
Per piacere, vi preghiamo di rimanere seduti mentre i nostri stimati ospiti escono dalla sala e poi di avviarvi verso Piazza San Marco dai vostri supervisors.